Everybody's looking for love, oh. Ain't that the reason you're at this club, oh. You ain't gonna find it dancing with him, no. Got a better solution for you, girl, oh. Just leave with me now, say the word and we'll go. I'll be a teacher, I'll show you the road. You'll see a side of love you've never known. I can see you going down. In my head, I see you all over me. In my head, you fulfill my fantasy. In my head, you're screaming loud. It's going down. It's going down. In my head, some dudes know all the right things to say. When it comes down to this, I'll just game set. Instead of talking, let me demonstrate. Hey, get down to business and skip for play. Hey, just leave with me now, say the word and we'll go. I'll be a teacher, I'll show you the road. You see a side of love you've never known. I can see it going down. In my head, I see you all over me. In my head, you fulfill my fantasy. You're screaming loud. It's going down. It's going down. Just leave with me now. Say the word and we'll go. I'll be your teacher. I'll show you the road. You'll see a side of love you've never known. But I can see it going down. In my head, I see you all over me. In my head, you fulfill my fantasy. In my head, you'll be screaming loud. It's going down. Hey, it's going in my head. I see you all over me. In my head, you fulfill my fantasy. You'll be screaming loud. It's going down. It's going in my head.
Thank you guys, thank you. How's everyone doing? Welcome to UVA. Very exciting. Huge thank you to Tav and President Ryan for having us out. We are the Hullabahoos. We're an a cappella group here at UVA. You may recognize us in our robes from our brief stint on Pitch Perfect and on The Office as well. We do some fun things at UVA, and we also had the chance to go abroad to Valencia, Spain last year, which was really exciting. So we got one more song for you all. Again, welcome, and if you like what you see and you want to join us, come check us out at Activities Fair on Monday. And then at Return to Sing on Wednesday night, and then on auditions on the lawn on Thursday and Friday. Thank you guys again, and welcome.
Shining armor. I might never be the one you take home to mother, and I might never be the one to bring you flowers, but I can be the one tonight. When I first saw you from across the, I can touch you, carry girl, I hope you're sure what you're looking for, 'cause I'm not good at making promises. But if you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, and if you like having secret little rendezvous, if you like to do the things you know that we shouldn't do, oh baby, I'm perfect. Oh baby, I'm perfect for you. And if you like midnight driving with no windows down, if you like go
So let's start right now.
Whoa. Time might never be the hand you put your heart in, or the arms that hold you anytime you want them. But that don't mean that we can't live here in this moment, 'cause I can be the one you love from time to time. When I first saw you from across the room, I could tell you were curious. Your life, hold your shirt, what you're looking for. 'Cause I'm not gonna make you promises, but if you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, and if you like having secret little rendezvous, if you like to do the things you know that we shouldn't do, oh baby I'm perfect for you. And if you like midnight driving with the windows down, and if you like going places we can't even pronounce, if you like to do whatever you've been dreaming about, baby I'm perfect, baby I'm perfect. So let's start right now. And if you like cameras flashing every time we go out, oh yeah. If you're looking for someone to write your breakup songs about, baby, I'm perfect. Baby, I'm perfect. 'Cause if you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, and if you like having secret little rendezvous, if you like to do the things you know that we shouldn't do, baby, I'm perfect. Baby, I'm perfect for you. And if you like driving with the windows down, and if you like going places we can't even pronounce, if you like to do whatever you've been dreaming about, baby I'm perfect, baby I'm perfect. So let's start right now. Thank you guys, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hey, y'all. That's like the closest to celebrity status that I get, right? Like the people are coming out, moving all the things. So I am Tav Enoch, and it is a delight to say hello to all of the families again. Y'all remember from July when we had a good time together? So it's always, always a delight to come out and say hello again. As y'all may remember, I am an Associate Dean of Students with my core responsibility is in orientation and new student programs. But you know, what else did I tell y'all this summer? I've dubbed myself what? Yes, the university's hype girl, right? And I said that to the students, and when I said that to the students, and I told some of our family members that, I said that because I really love music. And what I did with the students is I told them that I love music because when I listen to songs, it really does have the power to connect all of us to one another. But it also is a way that I like to chronicle my life, right? Oftentimes, and y'all family members, parents may know this, that you can hear a particular song and you can sort of think about what you were experiencing during that time in your life when that song came out. So when I talked to the students all summer, I did a little sort of chronicling of their lives. And so I thought for today, maybe I could do something for y'all, like for the families, for the parents. Can we sort of walk through the decades in music and you can sort of think about what you were experiencing at that time in your life? Can y'all do that with me today? Okay, yes, we'll do that. Okay, so I got my DJ in the back. I'm gonna play a song and I'm gonna see if y'all remember this song, okay? And we'll sort of join in together and see what we know. Okay, so I'm gonna take us not to the 70s, I'm gonna take us to the 80s, okay? Take us to the 80s. DJ, what song was really popular that our family members may know from the 80s? Right? You remember the shorts that George Michael had, right? You know that song. 1988, I was wearing my cobalt blue mascara and my banana clip. Anybody? Y'all remember that? Okay, good. Okay, so I know this other song that was really, really popular in the 80s. Y'all will know this as soon as you hear it. DJ, what song do you have? Your grunge phase, your parents didn't understand you, right? Okay, so now we're moved to the 90s. And this song right here reminds me of when I was in college. I mean, it really takes me back to my college days. DJ, give me a 90s popular song.
So get down your seat and jump around. Jump around.
Yes, right?
Jump around.
Y'all know that. Y'all acting like y'all didn't know this, right?
Jump up,
The beat dropped. Everybody was on the dance floor. I was telling the story earlier that one of my colleagues and I was asked to chaperone one of the dances that the student groups had had. The DJ played that song. We thought everybody was going to join us on the dance floor, and it was just me and Tim. Nobody else was there. And I was like, man, Tim, we really getting old. Okay, so here's the last song. Now, this song, I don't know that everybody knows this song, but when I hear this song, it always takes me back to my family reunion or barbecue that my family put together. I don't know if white people play this song at their family reunions. I ain't never been invited to a white person's family reunion before. But this is an old song that was remade in 2020. And so I'm gonna play it and see if this was the song. Y'all, they're like, we already know. They already know, right? They probably were at my family reunion, right? DJ, what song was remade in 2020 that everybody knew, but that was an old song? Right? Beyonce did it. It was a Frankie Beverly and Maze song. You doing your electric slide at the family reunion? Do y'all no? Is it just my family? Right? You do this, you get down, right? Yes. At every family reunion. Every family reunion. So I hope you enjoyed that sort of walk through the decades of music, because even if y'all weren't bopping your heads, I could tell from your eyes that you recognize a lot of the songs. Okay, so let me do what I have to do. I have a couple of housekeeping notes that I want to share with you, and then I'm going to move out of the way so that you can really enjoy what you're here to enjoy, which is meeting our university president. So just a couple of things. We are streaming this over Zoom, so shout out to the people who are watching over Zoom. We want to acknowledge, we know that you're there. The other thing I want to say is the order of the program is we're going to have the president come out. We'll allow you, if you want to text some questions to the panelists who will be out here after the university president speaks, you can text the question to this number out here, We'll have folks reading the questions aloud. So please, if you have a question for any of the panelists who will be assembled on the stage after the president speaks, please feel free to do that. Okay, so hopefully by now, you are all pretty much moved in and settled into your residence hall, and you probably feel, parents probably feel a little bit of mixed emotions that comes with dropping your son or your daughter off to college. And so I want you to know you are in the right place. You are in the right place. Today, the point of the address is, we want you to know that we've got a small army of people assembled here at the University of Virginia, many of whom are down here in this orchestra pit, who are here to have a listening ear to your son or daughter. They are poised to support your son or daughter and also to serve as a resource for your student throughout their time here. And that small army of people includes our 9th president, Jim Ryan. Many of you know that President Ryan has had an accomplished career and is a well-known, respected legal scholar and educator. He's a Yale alumnus, and he took his degree from the university's law school in 1992. In 1998, President Ryan joined the law school's faculty after clerking for then United States Chief Justice William Rehnquist. After leaving UVA, he moved to Boston, where he served as the dean for Harvard's Graduate School of Education and was the Charles William Eliot Professor of Education. His courses were wildly popular among students, even before his dean's commencement address on life's big questions went viral. And as you can imagine, over his time, over his career, he's won a ton of impressive awards and accolades that I could list to you. But two that are most notable to me, one of them is the Outstanding Faculty Award for the State Council for Higher Education for Virginia and the All-University Teaching Award from Harvard. I elevated those two because in my mind, it speaks to his commitment as an educator. Yet what I think he would likely call his crowning achievement is that he's a dedicated spouse and a father of 4. President Ryan is known for the care and attention he offers his family as well as our students. He really does have this uncanny ability, even backstage when we were talking, he has this uncanny ability that when you're talking to him, he makes you feel as if you were really the only person in the room, that singular interaction that you're having with him is all that matters to him. And I guess the best way that I could put it is that he is approachable and accessible. And he works hard to ensure that this place feels accessible to everyone, that UVA belongs to all of us. I would imagine, as a first-generation college student, the young Jim never dreamed that he would be a university president. Who dreams about that? But his humble beginnings likely grounded him in the ideals of service, humility, and gratitude. And he encourages us to do the same, to be thankful, to be a part of this really rich community. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you should. But if you do follow him on Instagram, you will see that he is all over grounds. And with every office visit, every handshake, every hug, every workout with the football team, President Ryan is teaching us and reminding us that it is not our notable reputation or our achievements that will determine our destiny, but it really is our core character, our deeper connection to one another that will help us close the gap between who we are and who we aspire to be, to help us actualize what it really means to be both great and good. So if you'd all please join me in welcoming our president, Mr. James E. Ryan.
Tav, thank you very much for that really kind introduction. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, excellent. So welcome to UVA, and to the parents who are here, congratulations on your child's enrollment at one of the finest universities in the world. Not that I'm biased, but I think you and your children have made an extremely wise choice. I'd like to thank the teams from Housing and Residence Life, Parking and Transportation, the University Police Department, and Facilities Management for helping make move-in as smooth as possible. Yeah, they deserve a round of applause. Also deserving of applause, I'd like to thank everyone from the Orientation and New Student Programs team and the Office of the Dean of Students for organizing this event. And here I would say you should hold your applause until after the panel, because I'd like to thank my colleagues for being here, particularly Provost Ian Baucom, Chief Operating Officer J.J. Davis, and Vice President of Student Affairs and Dean of Students Robin Hadley. They will be on a panel to answer your questions, which will begin right after my remarks and will be moderated by my Chief of Staff, Margaret Grundy-Noland. So, I have something important in common with many of you in the audience. Like all of you who are parents, I know what it's like to drop a child off at college for the first time. My wife Katie and I, as you heard, have 4 kids. 2 have graduated from college, 1 is still enrolled, and the other is in high school. Which means we've been through the first-time drop-off 3 times with our sons Will, Sam, and Ben, and we have another goodbye coming up in 2 years with our daughter Phoebe, which I have to say I'm already dreading. If you're anything like me, my guess is you're feeling a swirl of emotions: excitement, sadness, hope, anxiety, pride, and perhaps even bewilderment. As in, is my son or daughter really that old? Or more to the point, am I? Given that we share this experience, I'd like to spend a little bit of time this afternoon speaking with you first as a parent and then as a president. Or put differently, I'd like to speak to you as someone who is both paying tuition and spending tuition. I'll begin with sharing some of my hopes for my kids and myself as a parent when they started college. I do this not to be self-indulgent, but because these hopes for my own kids, as I'll explain in a moment, relate to how I see my role as president. So as we dropped off each of our sons at college, I hoped first and foremost that they would be safe and make smart decisions. College is a time of experimentation and of discovery. It's a time to take risks, to fail, and to learn from failure as much as you learn from success. I hope my kids would take reasonable and responsible risks and would make good decisions about their health and safety, about alcohol, about how to spend their time, and about their relationships. I hoped that they would engage, that they would take the initiative to dive into opportunities, to get to know faculty, and to get involved in the life of the university, both inside and outside of the classroom. I hope my kids would have the curiosity and courage to build bridges. College campuses today, including the grounds at the University of Virginia, are remarkably diverse places, among the most diverse places in the country. But sometimes it seems that students remain too often in their comfort zones and don't reach out and strike up friendships with those who come from different backgrounds. My hope was that my kids would take advantage of the diversity around them and develop relationships and friendships with fellow students whose lives and experiences had been very different from their own. I hope my kids would actually be uncomfortable at times and that they would wrestle with ideas they disagreed with, because I believe this is one of the best ways to learn and grow. Clark Kerr, who was a legendary college president at the University of California in the 1950s and 1960s, once said that a university doesn't exist to make ideas safe for students. It exists to make students safe for ideas. I believe that to be true, and I also believe that college is a perfect opportunity to confront ideas that are different, perhaps radically so, from your own. In doing so, in confronting ideas with which they disagreed, I hope my kids would learn to be generous listeners. Public conversations today are too often strident and lack either empathy or understanding. They often seem like a game of gotcha or a quick exercise in picking sides. I hope that encountering ideas and worldviews that were different from their own, they would try to understand first and to argue second. Or to quote Walt Whitman via Ted Lasso, that they would be curious, not judgmental, and that they would recognize that it's possible to disagree with someone even strongly with both civility and respect. Lastly, I hope that they would find their passion and a sense of purpose. Some students arrive at college knowing exactly what they want to do. Others, perhaps most, show up with little to no idea. Regardless, I think college is a time to explore, even to wander a little. To be sure, along the way, students will gain knowledge and acquire important skills, and I certainly hoped that would be true for my own kids. But I also hoped that along the way, they would discover something that they were really passionate about and that they would find a real sense of purpose. And I hoped as well that this sense of purpose would include a desire and a commitment to make the world a bit better by serving others, regardless of what they decided to do as a career. As for myself, as a parent, I hope that I'd be able to help my kids do all these things, not by hovering over them like the cliche helicopter parent, but by offering support and encouragement when and where they needed it. Encouragement for them to engage, encouragement for them to go beyond their comfort zones, support and understanding when they failed, and encouragement for them to pick themselves up and start over. I share these hopes with you, as I said, not to be self-indulgent, but because my guess is that some of you who are parents share these same hopes for your own children. Even more importantly, I share them because the same hopes I had for my own kids, I have for your own children. As president of UVA, when I see your children, our students, I can't help but see my own kids. And I want nothing less for them than I want for my own children. My hope and expectation as president is that we at UVA will do all we can to enable your children to have the most rewarding experience possible. Your sons and daughters are joining a remarkable community filled with talented, dedicated, and compassionate faculty and staff. Indeed, I'm truly honored to be a part of this community. I think it's fair to say that all of us here view it as our duty and privilege to create the conditions that will allow your hopes and the hopes of your children to be realized. To be specific, we will do our best to keep your children safe and healthy and to help them make smart decisions. Leonard Sandridge, who served in different leadership positions at UVA for 44 years, observed correctly that a university is really like a small city. Teaching and research are at its core, but we also have a health system where people go for medical care, and we host sporting events, concert, theater, and dance. There are places to eat, to live, to study, and exercise. We have libraries, research labs, heating and cooling plants, groundskeepers, and a police force. And our city is home to thousands of 18 to 22-year-olds living aside one another. This may sound either exciting or terrifying, depending on your perspective, perhaps a little of both. Our first priority is to make sure that our small city is a safe and healthy environment in which to learn and grow. This is always a bit of a challenge, but especially so today as we face the lingering presence of COVID and the effects of disruptions over the past 2.5 years. I'm pleased and grateful to report that no students over the last 2.5 years have become seriously ill or hospitalized for COVID to date, and we will do everything to keep it that way, while also paying attention not just to physical health, but to mental health as well. While we're on the topic of safety and security, you should also feel assured that the university police are here to watch out for your students, as are UVA ambassadors that you'll see on the corner on the lawn and in other areas where students live and gather. We have a late-night bus service and a safe ride program to help students travel safely at night. We have the UVA alert system for email and text notifications during emergencies. Students can sign up for this, and they can sign up their parents as well. And we have a Just Report It online system for students and members of the community to tell us about incidents that happen on grounds. Now, just to be clear, I say all of this not to alarm you, but hopefully to give you some comfort that we take your child's safety seriously and have a number of precautions in place. Beyond safety and security, my hope and expectation as president is that we will also provide an irresistibly engaging experience inside of the classroom and out. An environment that is not only safe but vibrant, not only exciting but challenging, and an environment that will allow students to create connections with faculty and with peers and to discover meaningful activities outside of class. My hope and expectation as president is that we will provide your children, our students, with the opportunity to build bridges and to take advantage of the incredible diversity on grounds. This year's class is the most diverse in our history. Students come from all over Virginia and all across the country, as well from over 90 other countries and territories, and a record 16% are their first in their families to attend college. We have more programs than ever before that are designed to bring students together, and will continue to dedicate our strongest efforts to enable and encourage students to reach out beyond the familiar and to strike up friendships with students who come from very different backgrounds. I think students learn as much outside of class as inside, and that they learn from each other. And a great way to learn is to spend time with someone whose life experiences and perspectives are different from your own. I hope and expect we'll offer opportunities for our students to confront ideas with which they disagree. Universities are about the unending search for truth, part of which requires a testing of conventional wisdom and accepted truths. This is why free expression and academic freedom are the foundation of universities. But they're also critical for students' learning and growth. One great way to sharpen your own thinking is to wrestle with ideas and views with which you disagree. I hope and expect we'll offer our students the opportunity to find their passion and sense of purpose. We will do this by offering a remarkable array of courses and extracurricular activities, and by offering our students an incomparable variety of opportunities for self-governance. We think it's important to give our students the responsibilities of self-governance, and for that experience to be real and therefore hard at times, because it's part of our goal to prepare students for a life of leadership and service. We recognize that students are young adults, but adults nonetheless. We treat them that way by giving them meaningful opportunities to govern themselves, and by insisting that they follow an honor code that prohibits, quite simply, lying, cheating, and stealing. For parents in the audience who are alums, I believe that they would tell you that the honor code and the community of trust were defining and lasting features of their time here. And I hope and expect that will be true for entering students as well. And last, I hope and expect that in discovering their sense of purpose, our students will develop or strengthen a commitment to serve others and to advance the common good. The original mission of the University of Virginia was to create citizen leaders who would help strengthen what was then a young democracy. Our mission has expanded to include generating new knowledge and discoveries and to providing outstanding medical care. But the thread of preparing citizen leaders and serving others continues to weave through everything we do. My hope for your children, for our students, is that they come to appreciate that whatever else they do, regardless of their chosen profession, whether in the public or private sphere, whether in medicine, government, business, architecture, the military, law, you name it, whatever else they do, they realize that spending at least some time advancing the common good and serving others is a recipe for a meaningful and rewarding life. Now, to do all of this, we are going to need your help as parents. Please help your children make smart decisions. And to give a concrete example, I'd ask you to encourage your children to avoid the large off-grounds block party on Saturday night and instead to attend the on-grounds concert at JPJ Arena and the follow-up Who's Home celebration at the Aquatics and Fitness Center, which will include free food trucks, games, music, and more. Students can walk to JPJ or take a shuttle, and their RAs will be available to help them find their way. Attending these two events, I think, would be a very smart decision and a fun evening. I also hope that you'll assure your children that college will be fun, but it won't always be easy, especially at the beginning. I've begun to think that starting college is a little like early parenting. When my wife Katie and I were expecting our first child, everyone told us how magical parenting is and how we would love every minute of it. Then along came our first child, and the first few months to me weren't exactly magical. They felt a bit grueling, and I carried around the dark secret that I was the only parent who didn't find parenting that magical. Of course, the magic eventually kicked in when our kids were somewhere around 20 or 21 years old. I'm kidding. But when that magic began to happen, I forgot about the early months, which were genuinely hard. And so it is with college. Those of us who love college tell those who are about to begin that they'll love it too. And we forget that we all had some struggles at the beginning. It's a lot to get used to. For most students, it's their first time living away from home. I remember my son saying when he started college that it was really hard getting used to having to leave one building where he sleeps to go to a different building to eat. I don't know about your kids, but he didn't grow up with his bedroom in one building and his kitchen or dining room in another. All of which is to say, please lend an ear if your children are having a rough patch or two, and assure them that it is completely normal, and that if they leave themselves open to it, they will eventually see and feel the magic of this place. And they should also know and be reminded that asking for help is a sign of strength, not of weakness. Finally, I hope you'll try, as I have as a parent and as a president, to encourage your students to explore their interests, to take chances and risk failure, and to continually search for their passion and their sense of purpose. And it's here where my hopes as a parent and my hopes as president converge, and it's also here where I'll end my remarks. There's an old folk saying, the origins of which are obscure, but it says, "Prepare the child for the road, not the road for the child." As a parent, I've tried to live by that maxim, though it's not always easy. As president, I view our ultimate task as helping to prepare your child, your young adult child, for the road ahead, for the exciting, challenging, uncertain, and rewarding road ahead. And I look forward to beginning that journey with all of you today. So thanks again for being here, and congratulations again. So now I'm delighted to welcome my Chief of Staff, Margaret, who is a UVA alum and will moderate the panel of experts who will answer any questions that might be on your mind. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started since we only have about 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes. Good afternoon, welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us. It's my pleasure to moderate this panel discussion. As a reminder, you can submit questions via text message if you have them. Before we jump in, let me introduce my colleagues who are with us on stage this afternoon. Starting at the far left, JJ Davis is our Chief Operating Officer. JJ oversees the teams that help keep the university running, works hard to make sure we're staying safe and healthy. Her portfolio includes everything from finance to facilities, and she basically keeps the trains running on time and making sure we run efficiently and effectively. Ian, to JJ's right, is our provost. Ian's the person responsible for the academic mission of the university, which includes teaching, learning, and research. Prior to serving as provost, Ian served as dean of the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences for 8 years, which is the university's biggest school. And then finally, Ian's right is Robin Hadley, who is our Vice President and Dean of Students. Robin works with her team to deliver the best student experience possible for your children and for all of our students, which includes overseeing residence life, the Department of Student Health, the Office of African American Affairs, and the University Career Center. So thank you all for joining us. As we're waiting for questions to roll in, I thought I might kick things off by asking you each to share a brief piece of advice to the families in the room. Let's see, JJ, why don't you kick us off, and we'll come this way.
Great. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to UVA. I guess I have a fourth year here and a senior in high school, so I think my advice would be listen more, talk less. They're amazing this time of year in their development, and they're learning a lot, and so often a listening ear is what I find is my best approach as a mom.
Great, thank you.
So I have 5 kids. I'm taking, Jim is better than all of us at virtually everything, but I've got 5 and he's got 4. But he's a better dad than I am. I'm taking a son, our 4th child, to college tomorrow. And one of the pieces of advice that I've shared with him and that I share with you is find a faculty mentor. Every faculty member who is here, and I mean that to a person, is here because at some point when they were between the ages of 18 and 22, they met a faculty member who cared for them. They met a faculty member who taught them. They met a faculty member who became a friend and changed their life. Our faculty remember that. And it's the reason, fundamentally, why they've dedicated themselves to this work. They're passionate about their fields of study. They're passionate about research. They're passionate about discovery, but mainly they're passionate about their capacity as individuals to be part of the transformation of young people's lives. They're eager, they're really eager to meet our students. There's a very simple way that parents, you can urge your students to do this. There's something called office hours. So all of our faculty members do these things called office hours, where they actually sit in their offices waiting for students to come talk to them with a question. It's the best way to begin to build a relationship. Even if your child doesn't have a specific question, encourage them to go to office hours and get to know that faculty member, and then seek those opportunities outside of class. We have extensive data showing that the students who succeed the most in college succeed because they have found a mentor. So that would be a first piece of advice.
Years ago, I asked two experts what advice they would share with parents because I was asked to do that. And I went to my own parents. And my mom said to share with parents that no matter what your child has done in the last day or week or so, just know they've heard you, and all of that is in here somewhere. It may not feel like they've heard the advice that you have given and all the things that you've taught them along the way to be prepared to make good decisions, but it's in there somewhere down deep. So just breathe and know that it's in there somewhere, and that we're here on this side to catch it. That's what my mom said. My dad said, tell the parents to go home and relax. That you, the university, your team, you got this. You've been trained, you've been working hard for these young people to come to ground, so tell the parents to go home and relax. And he said lastly, tell the parents, don't call them and text them every day, just let them grow up a little bit. And so I'll pass that advice on as well.
All right, thanks to all of you. So we have question askers, who I'll turn to in a minute. We also have a group of experts in the orchestra pit down here. So if a question comes in and you think you're the right person to ask and I don't see you, wave a hand. Julie, I'll start with you, please.
Absolutely. So the first question is about second-year housing. Even though they've just moved in for first year, I've heard they have to decide next month where and with whom they're living next year. Is that really true?
Vice President Hadley?
No. You know, even before I landed here officially, I got calls from parents asking that same question, saying, please do something about the housing. We have an extraordinary housing and res life team. I do hope you'll spend a little more time on their websites, but we do know that historically there's been a tremendous amount of pressure on our first-year students and their families to sign a lease with someone you've probably not even known 30 days yet. And move in with them in a year's time. So we know that pressure is coming, and if we can get our first year students, their RAs, I think will be helping them think through this. Just breathe a little bit, kind of get your routine down, settle into that first semester, and spend some time again with housing and res life and understanding what your options are in terms of on-ground housing, because it is there. But we do know there's a tremendous amount of pressure for our students to live off grounds. I will tell you, down the road, it is our goal to have second-year housing be mandatory. That's part of the Great and Good master plan here, but it will take us some time to get there. So hold on.
All right, thank you. Alex. That is Alex, right? Yeah.
Yes. What kind of academic support is available for my daughter if she struggles to adjust to college classes? And I would add, how should she find it?
Ian?
That's a great question. So we have an extensive advising system within the university, and what we try to do is to integrate advising, academic advising, advising about what it just means to be a young person living on a college campus, so student life advising and career advising. Over the course of the last year and a half or so, Robin Hadley, our colleague Steve Farmer, who's our Vice Provost for Enrollment, oversees the admission office. You should thank Steve before you leave, because he does oversee admission. Bree Gertler, who's our Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, to really be thinking very deeply and intensely about how to blend these things. I mean, one thing that we know is what happens in the dormitory has an impact on what happens in the classroom, right? If a student is struggling, right, in their residential life, there's going to be a classroom impact and reciprocally around that. So what should you do? Every student has been assigned an academic advisor. They will begin to meet with those advisors within the first day of their arrival after this weekend, after move-in weekend. So there's someone who's been assigned to them to work with them in small groups. Make sure that your student gets to know that person, follows up with them. They are available for not only these office hours, but just send an email. I shouldn't promise texting, but to say, this is something that I need. That person can then help work out what is it that the student needs. Do they need some tutoring in a mathematics course? Do they need an undergraduate peer tutor, someone who just took the course last year and who can really kind of talk through it? Do they need to talk to a faculty member because they can't quite decide whether the sets of courses that they've taken are the right ones? There's a period where you can drop or add classes at the beginning of the semester. They can talk to that person. If they are putting pressure on themselves from the week one to find their summer internship, and some students begin to do that, they can then direct them to career services, to someone to help them understand how to take that pressure off, but also be lining themselves up, understanding what is in front of them. So that would be the first point of contact. Then each of the schools, the college, architecture, engineering, have an additional set of advisors that your students will work with. So there are 2 people assigned to each student. Again, they will meet with that secondary advisor, someone who will stay with them all 4 years within the first couple days. So I would say make contact with that person, make sure you really understand them, and then talk to the RAs in the dorms, because the RAs are then the point of contact that can help us bring that whole system together. And I really do want to thank Vice President Hadley, who has been a real leader in making sure that we're thinking about that in an integrated way. It's one of our highest priorities.
Thank you. Julie?
We come from a pretty small rural area, and my students' high school was only 700 people total. How will they get involved here, and are there ways to help them plug in and make friends in such a big place?
All right. Robin, you want to take that one for starters?
Go to studentaffairs.virginia.edu, and we have a couple of icons on there that will allow students to click in literally to the more than 600 clubs and student activities that we have here at the university. Also, their RAs will have additional information about centers and entertainment and different types of things here, whether it's in Newcomb or whether it's the Miller Center, or things here in the city of Charlottesville, that matter. The farmer's market on Saturday morning, the free trolley down at the corner, takes you 9 minutes to get on that little green trolley and ride from the corner to downtown Charlottesville. So I think there are websites, just talking to other students, talking to upper class students as well. Again, faculty members, staff members who live here in Charlottesville, and who in many instances are alums, not once, not twice, but 3 times here at the university, and they too can provide, I think, some direction and advice and some guidance for events. Don't forget football games and other types of events where you get to really learn how to be a Wahoo.
That's right, and as I think one of the Hullabahoos mentioned, there's an activities fair on Monday where the risk is probably getting over-involved. So be sure to check that out. Alex?
We've had a number of questions about COVID, so I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but what resources are available to my student around COVID, and what happens if my student tests positive?
I see Dr. Holstag in the audience. Maybe, Chris, would you mind taking that one, please?
No, it's a great question. I'm sure it's on many of your minds right now, and certainly it's decreasing, right, in regards to the virulence of COVID. As you heard President Ryan said, our students have done very well here. Student health and wellness, they can go for testing. There's other testing options around the area also, and we're treating this much similar to what we saw in the past when people would get influenza. In other words, having your own plan in place. The great news is the strain is much less virulent, and we're watching very closely with the health department and with the health system as this disease kind of evolves.
And I should say Dr. Holsteg is the Director of Student Health and Wellness, so he's the right guy to answer the question. Julie.
One thing I would add to that, if your student tests positive for COVID, or if your student for any reason is unwell and therefore has to miss class for a period of time, our faculty before COVID have always been prepared to work with students to kind of work out sort of an individual plan for them during that transition period. And then everyone got intensely ready for that. And I think, for all of us, that sense of how to respond to the most vulnerable among us and how to respond to your students when they are most vulnerable, that there's just a kind of been an intensification of that. So concrete piece of advice, if your student tests positive and has to isolate for a period of time, have them email their faculty member and say they can disclose what the reason is or not, right? That is absolutely their freedom to say, but I can't be in class for medical reasons for the next 5 days. Please let me know what I can do to keep up. Many of our faculty members will have, not all, but many of our faculty members will have someone in class who's assigned to be a note taker for them. Many of our faculty, not all, but will be recording their lectures in some form or another, or will be able to provide material, right? Each faculty member has worked out for their own class the best way to do that. So just have them proactively be in touch, say, what can I do to keep up? If I've missed an assignment, can I have a delay on that? And I think that the faculty have this kind of intense commitment that has really deepened over the last couple of years to make sure that they can work with your students.
Great. Thanks, Julie.
My daughter will be commuting from Gooch to her classes. We're concerned about safety during those commutes. Can you comment on how safe it is to be walking between the dorms and central grounds, especially after the sun goes down? Thank you.
JJ, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, so a couple of things. We have an ambassador program, so if anyone, it's evening hours and they want a walking escort, we highly recommend that. 2, there is bus service into the evening, and there's always safe ride. But I would stress the grounds are generally safe, but 2 things. 1, if it's dark or early morning hours and there's no light, a buddy system always makes a ton of sense. There are ambassadors, part of their job is to do walking escorts. And second, I would say if a student or a faculty or a staff member sees something, we always ask them to say something. So we have a Guardian app. We highly recommend everyone download that. They can safely put in if there's any questions or concerns.
Thank you.
I think we probably only have time for one more, yeah? If you could go back in time and take one undergraduate class at UVA, what would that class be?
Ooh. We'll start with Ian, if JJ and Robin want to chime in too, please.
I'd be happy to do it. So if I could go back, and this is an opportunity within the College of Arts and Sciences that some students have, slightly over 60 or 70%. We can't offer every course to everyone in the first semester, but the college has designed a new curriculum, and at the heart of the curriculum are 4 kinds of questions that we think are foundational to helping our students be educated for their lives as citizens in the world around them, and to be educated for thinking through the really hard, tough questions that come at all of us over the course of our lives. And the structure there is to say that any really, really tough question has an empirical dimension. You need to just understand what the facts are. Every really tough question surrounding us is going to come with some ethical commitments or complications. What's the right thing to do? There might be 2 or 3 different versions of what seems like the right thing to do. Every really tough question that we encounter in life, we're going to understand more deeply if we can experience it through the life of someone else, and that is what art gives us. And every really tough question in life is something that we're probably going to disagree on if it's really tough. Those courses that are offered to first-year students are called engagement courses, and if I could pick one, I would pick one of the Engaging Differences courses in the college. And the purpose of those courses is not to tell students what to think about anything, but to spend time together sitting and thinking through how to make arguments and listen to arguments about really tough things on which we don't necessarily agree. If I could go back to my 18-year-old self and spend time with my fellow students in my first year at college learning how to do that, I'd sign up. So that would be my advice.
It's a very tough act to follow. JJ or Robin, do you have any?
Yeah, so Margaret, I'm going to pose this question to you as a double who.
Oh my goodness, that was kind of a sneaky move. Let's see, well, I'll say we've got the dean of our Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy sitting in the pit down here, and the Batten School didn't exist when I was a student here. So I think I might have chosen to enroll in a course in leadership there. So thank you for being here, Ian. All right, I think that wraps us up. I'm sure you all have final boxes to unpack and dinners to eat and farewells to say. So thank you all for being here. We're so excited about this year.